Well, what do you think?
Well, Danny looks awful good out there. He's really lined up. Parker was doing pretty decent for that one errant shot. Ended up costing the match, I think. Danny's bad shot wasn't quite as painful for him. Let's see what John does if he can get lined up on these lanes.
Well, we're ready to start the match, and as always, at 10:30 and 50 past the hour, ESPN brings you all of the scores. And John Gant starts with not what he wanted. The last practice shot on that lane was light. I think he made an adjustment, and old double pinnacle jumped right up there.
Looked like he got a little soft to me.
If you have to do it, that's time to do it, though, right, Walter? The first frame?
Yeah, or the fill ball.
Yeah, exactly. One of those two.
I kept doing it in the 10th frame this week. It cost me lots of pins.
Yeah, that'll cost you 30-some pins a pop, won't it?
Yeah, especially on strikes. When you're lined up and throwing strikes and you throw a really bad shot like that.
There we see lane 3, obviously his favorite right here with 12 strikes in that lane. Wow! Ooh.
I tell you what, if he'd have got that one back and carried, he might have shot 300, because that would have showed him how much room he really has out there near the channel on the right-hand lane. The left lane, you can see he's swinging the ball and it's coming back flush for him most every time.
You know, our defending champion here is Dave Ferraro, and he shot 804 on this same pair of lanes for 3 games last year, doing the same type of thing, circling outside the second arrow, and had a marvelous shot.
Well, let's see how he handles the spare, Walter. Remember, he's had trouble with the approaches here.
Well, that one he didn't have any problem. Right at it. I mentioned earlier that I'd crossed with Danny in the tournament, and he was having problems with the Spectrum lanes, with the wood lanes over there. Typically, wood lanes have a little better approaches than synthetic lanes, but he managed to bowl very well, obviously, to get to the top 5.
Imagine if he didn't have any trouble.
Well, I talked to him before we went on the air, and I said, Danny, you've won the right side this week. Now you got to go out and win the other side. He says, I can do it.
So well, high again on the left lane, his favorite.
That same bad shot that he made last game, I think. This time he got the 3 out, though.
I wonder if the lanes are changing a little bit, or maybe the ball, his ball surface is changing a little. You know, these guys shine them up. You know, I talked to our lane man, Steve Cross, PBA lane man, and of course Len Nicholson, who's in charge of the lane maintenance program, and they're having a problem. And the problem is, quite honestly, the new reactive resin bowling balls and the compounds that they can use on them to shine them up. There's like 70 different compounds you can use to shine these balls up, and about 95% of those compounds have abrasives in them. And once that wears off and gets on the lane surface, first of all, the resin reactive balls pick up the oil quicker, right?
Yeah, they
absorb the oil,
that.
and they absorb the oil, and that maybe that resin reactive ball loses that luster after a couple of games, and that compound that a guy put on the ball gets on the surface of the lane, and now you got 2 major bad things happening. One, you got the oil leaving the lane, and now you got a compound down the area of the lane where the guy's playing. That can create a different reaction for him, don't you think?
Yeah, and the other thing is what other players will do is actually sand the balls to get more friction on the balls, which a lot of these players that really hook the ball don't do that so much, but some of the guys who throw the ball a little straighter, like Danny, sometimes myself, will do that to get the ball to hook a little bit more.
Well, what does Gant have to do to get the ball on the 1-2 right now?
Well, I have no idea, to be honest with you.
It looked like his first shot was really slow. His last one looked a lot better, but he just wasn't quite out far enough to the channel. I think there is some definite hook out there, but he doesn't want to get too close to it because it just jumps on him. So he's definitely going to be careful and make some great shots.
He's having problems finding the right break point, and getting the ball into that break point with the right speed is the key. If he can find the break point with the right speed, he'll be all right. He's an instinct player anyway. If you watch John Gant bowl, you wouldn't suggest copy this game. You know, I wouldn't tell anybody to bowl the way John Gant bowled.
I'd like to copy the results.
It works for John Gant. He's
right.
very much a great athlete, an instinct player, and this is the way he learned to play the game, and there's no sense trying to change him now, obviously. It's worked very well for him.
Danny Wiseman, lane 4.
Wow. Got away with another shot.
Yes, he did. He's getting a little, he's showing us how much area he's got in the right-hand lane. We'll take another look at Danny Wiseman's game. You want to take a shot at this, Walter Ray, at analyzing this game?
Well, he's got a perfect delivery. Nice, smooth delivery. Nice level backswing there. It comes down. Nice long slide. I mean, that's picture perfect, just like Ozio and Voss were last week.
There you have it from Deadeye, one of the best players ever to play the game. If he doesn't know, nobody does.
Ooh, the message came up short.
Well, he's definitely got the edge on John. He's sitting in the pocket. He just hasn't got the strikes yet. But if John can get figured up here, he's definitely going to give him some run.
Well, he definitely made an adjustment on that off that nose hit there, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he got a speed up that last time. That first shot looked like he got real slow. Danny definitely doesn't like that left lane, that approach where he's going for his 10-10s.
Up in the 6th frame. So raucous crowd here. He trails by 12 pins. We were talking earlier that he took time off. This allowed his wife Beverly to go back and work full-time as an emergency medical physician at Baptist Hospital in Winston-Salem.
That one almost didn't come back. They don't hook very good out of the channel.
No, he was getting that back during the week. That was, I think that was a shot he expected should come back, and it just didn't. For some reason, these synthetic lanes aren't reacting the way they were, or the wood lanes were during the week.
He was getting it back in practice.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. They get the oil carry down. You know, that's what I mentioned about the full hour of practice. That sometimes can be negative.
At the 3-5. There's Billy Oakes. He's the man on the bubble for the Dick Weber Classic. If John Gant would happen to win tonight, does he knock Billy out? Is that the way it goes, Earl?
You know, I'm kind of confused on this, but I think what would happen is, yes, he definitely would at this point. Right now, we're running out of tournaments. We've got one more after this one that you can qualify for the AMF Dick Weber Classic, this being one, and then, of course, next week. After that, it's all over. And Billy Oakes right now is really sweating it out because this is a major event for these guys. And back-to-back major events, you might say.
If Wiseman beats John, then Billy's in, right?
Exactly. You have to look at the style and the power of a great athlete in action. John Gant on the way to the foul line. Look at him. He's just like a big tiger. Look, it looks like a big bird going to the foul line, swooping down.
Well, Danny threw a much better shot on that one. Well, I know John's already qualified for the AMF tournament. And Danny, I believe, is qualified. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the list. But
well,
if Danny's already qualified, then
I don't think Gant
if
is.
Danny wins the match, then automatically Bill Oakes will advance.
Right.
So, yeah, basically, John Gant's the only one that can determine Bill's fate. If John were to win the tournament, Bill has to wait another week. Danny's got the double he's looking for. He got that left lane. I think he kept his speed up. I think he just got a little slow on those couple of shots that went to the beat.
Yeah, I think he made a little move there, too. I tell you what, I think John